Good morning. Here's another beautiful Oklahoma sunrise. We continue. We're on page 66 of Blues and the Poetic Spirit. Eros. There is no solution outside love. Andre Breton. My stickers are backing up on me. Let me get them. There we go. Unlike the laudable author of the irresistible mysteries of Udolpho, Anne Ratcliffe, who took to eating the most indigestible foods in order to procure nightmares for insertion in her tales of horror. Ratcliffe, 1923. The blues singer need not rely in the least on artificial stimulation for the production of erotic tension. The erotic tendency of life is always clearly present, if not always recognized. To those who suggest that the blues singers are preoccupied with sexuality, let us point out that all humanity is preoccupied with sexuality, albeit most often in a repressive way. The blues singers, by establishing their art on a relatively non-repressive level, strip the civilized disguise from humanity's preoccupation, thus allowing the content to stand as it really is, eroticism as the source of happiness. Humanity's preoccupation with eroticism is related to complex and multi-determined processes, but there can be no denying that while the sense of urgency and intensity with which we treat sexual matters is related integrally to frustration and repression, a relatively non-repressed state of erotic pleasure would be pursued with equal intensity, but with an urgency of an entirely different function. The search for erotic love lies at the core of the blues, indeed at the core of all authentic poetry, just as sexuality lies at the core of every individual. In those moments of most intense passion, be they imaginary or actual, the obsessive nature of eroticism makes itself known. This particular obsession carries with it a promise of freedom that is undeniable. Love destroys repression. Eroticism becomes a paradox, a non-limiting obsession. The obsession of love tolerates no distractions outside itself, but within itself it encompasses every possibility of human achievement and dignity. We've got us a sing-off here. Hang on. I would say that sounds like complaints, but the sweetness at the end makes it sweet. All right, I'll continue. The blues, as it reflects human desire, projects the imaginative possibilities of a true erotic existence. Hinted at are new realities of non-repressive life, dimly grasped in our current state of alienation and repression, but nonetheless implicit in the character of sexuality as it is treated in the blues. Desire defeats the existing morality. Poetry comes into being. Yet the blues is not only a vehicle for imaginative truth. Indeed, as we have said, it deals not only with sexuality, but even more specifically with the frustration of sexuality. The dynamic interrelationship of projected gratification and actual frustration is the key to the essence of the blues. I'm going to read that again because I feel like I'm competing with the birds still. The dynamic interrelationship of projected gratification and actual frustration is the key to the essence of the blues. Excuse me. Simply, what is possessed is not wished for. What is not possessed is wished for. If we see in the blues the promise of sensuous human joy and sublime love, we also see the repressive circumstances through which the wishes and demands of the singers come into being. The focal point for the projection of erotic pleasure is the frustration of the same pleasure. It is hardly accidental that the most recurrent theme in the blues is the frustration of erotic desire. This frustration, inextricably bound up with the whole system of class society, it is humanity's greatest obstacle to happiness. Yet, the singular method by which the blues comes to grips with this frustration enables it to be simultaneously reflective and projective in a fashion which enhances its liberating potential. All right, hang on, let me get a swig. All right. It is hardly accidental that the most recurrent theme in the blues is the frustration of erotic desire. Oh, wait a minute. I read that one already. Sorry. The capacity for fantasy becomes the crucial function in the ability to finally overthrow reality and the displeasures that accompany it, to unleash desire in truly non-repressive situations of gratification and joy. The desires of the blues singer are the desires of us all. Those who find the blues vulgar or repulsive find that the same desire in themselves creates feelings of disgust and revulsion. Nicholas Callas remarked that surrealism, after all, is shocking for the people who are shocked by dreams. 1940. Is equally true of the blues. The blues singer, like the surrealist poet or painter, often with an incredible array of the most startling images, and with a candor that is often stunning, creates works concerned with the most basic human desires and deeds. Poetry is generally the result when bourgeoisie Christian morality is defeated by desire. Okay. So this next several pages is a lot of different blues songs. So these are the poetry of which this person speaks. Is it he or she? Yeah, Paul. Sounds like a he. Oh my word. Okay, what we have here is a picture of a Paramount record, and it's titled Bed Springs Blues by Blind Lemon Jefferson. But not all the songs are by him, it looks like. So here we go. I got a new way of getting down. Make the springs tremble on your bed. Blind Lemon Jefferson from Bed Spring Blues. Next one's by Lil Johnson, If You Can Dish It. If you can dish it, I can take it. I got to have it morning, noon, and night. The next one's Little Johnson, Hottest Gal in Town. This one's a little longer. He's the kind of man that I want around, handsome and tall and a teasing brown. He's got to wake me every morning 'bout 3:30. Kick up my furnace and turn on my heat. Churn my milk, cream my wheat, brown my biscuits and chop my meat. He's long and tall, and that ain't all. He's got to be just like a cannonball. That's why I want him around, 'cause I'm the hottest gal in town. And the next one is Blind Boy Fuller. She's a truckin' little baby. In description of sexual activity, the line that might separate the elusive from the explicit begins to dissolve. She's long and slim, she's made up round. She can look up long as I can look down. She's a truckin' little baby. The next one, Bessie Smith's Empty Bed Blues was a best-selling record in its day, largely because of its overt sexual references. Bought me a coffee grinder, got the best one I could find. Bought me a coffee grinder, got the best one I could find. So he could grind my coffee, 'cause he had a brand new grind. He's a deep-sea diver with a stroke that can't go wrong. He's a deep-sea diver with a stroke that can't go wrong. He can touch the bottom, and his wind holds out so long. He boiled my first cabbage, and he made it awful hot. He boiled my first cabbage, and he made it awful hot. Then he put in the bacon and overflowed the pot. While most blues that deal with sex refer to intercourse, oral genitalia activity is treated in the same open manner. Excuse me. All right, this one is Hattie Hart with the Memphis Jug Band, Memphis Yo-Yo Blues. Bring your yo-yo, wind the string around my tongue. Mama knows just how to make the yo-yo hum. Bring your yo-yo, Daddy, and we will have lots of fun. And here's another one by Speckled Red from Dirty Dozens #2, or titled Dirty Dozens #2. Your face is all hid and your back's all bare. If you ain't doing the boo-boo, what's your head doing down there? Could be Bobo. It's B-O-B-O. I don't really know. All right. The next, Hip Shakin' Strut by Georgia Tom and Jane Lucas contains this spoken interchange. JL says, come on, everybody, let's do the yap yap you do. JT, what's that? Something smells. JL, no, you eat that. Even disturbances of sexual activity are not ignored, as evidenced by this Little Johnson song. My man thought he was raising sand. I said, give it to me, baby. You don't understand. Where'd you put that thing? Where'd you put that thing? Just press my button. Give my bell a ring. Come on, baby. Let's have some fun. Just put your hot dog in my bun, and I'll have that thing, that ting-a-ling. Just press my button. Give my bell a ring. My man's out in the rain and cold. He's got the right key, but just can't find the hole. He say, "Where's that thing? That ting-a-ling? I've been pressing your button and your bell won't ring." Now tell me, Daddy, what it's all about. Trying to fix your spark plug and it's all worn out. I can't use that thing, that ting-a-ling. I've been pressing your button and your bell won't ring. Here my baby's all out of breath. Been working all night and ain't done nothing yet. What's wrong with that thing, that ting-a-ling? I've been pressing your button and your bell won't ring. That was called Press My Button. And then here's another one by King David's Jug Band titled Sweet Potato Blues. Ain't no more potatoes, frost done killed the vine. Ain't no more potatoes, frost done killed the vine. Ain't no more good times with that girl of mine. The objectionable sex partner is dismissed in graphic terms in the blues. Here's an example from Mary Dixon called You Can't Sleep in My Bed. You're too big to be cute, and I don't think you're clean. You're too big to be cute, and I don't think you're clean. You're the darndest looking thing that I have ever seen. What you got in mind ain't gonna happen today. What you got in mind ain't gonna happen today. Get off my bed. How in the world did you get that way? Disloyalty, too, is depicted in much the same fashion. In this example, it's by Texas Alexander, Rollin' and Stumblin' Blues. That's about disloyalty. I've been rolling, I've been stumbling, I've been falling for the last past 6 long weeks. I've been rolling, I've been stumbling, I've been falling for the past 6 long weeks. Some man's taken my woman. I can see where he dirtied my sheets. And the next one, inhibitions are made the subject of similar songs. This one's by P.D. Wheatstraw, and it's the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Well, the first woman I had, she made me get on my knees. Well, the first woman I had, she made me get on my knees and had the nerve to ask me, well, if I liked Limburger cheese. The odors associated with sexuality play a significant part in the singer's imaginistic repertoire. Thus, P.D. Wheatstraw again. Wheatstraw. I want some food, Mama, and I don't mean no ton of bream, turnip greens. Oh, you can change it. I want some seafood, Mama, and I don't mean no turnip greens. I want some fish. Ooh, well, and you know just what I mean. I want fish, Mama. I want it all the time. I want fish, Mama. I want it all the time. The peoples call it seafood. Ooh, well, all up and down the line. Oh, it keeps going. If you love your seafood, you is a good friend of mine. If you love your seafood, you is a good friend of mine. If you don't love good fish, ooh, well, you better get on some kind of time. I want some seafood, Mama, because I'm a seafood man. I want some seafood, Mama, because I'm a seafood man. When I can't get my seafood, ooh, well, I goes to Raisin Sand. So bye-bye, people. I hope this July will find you well. So bye-bye, people. I hope this July will find you well. Because this seafood I'm talking about, ooh, well, now I swear it's a burning hell. That was Petey Wheatstraw, called I Want Some Seafood. 2 words. In this same category are the numerous songs like What's That Smell? What's That I Smell? What's That Smells Like Fish? And What's That Tastes Like Gravy? We will devote a special section to symbolism and imagery in the blues. But even without the use of elaborate metaphors, the singer can arouse our imagination with sexual allusions. Here's another Petey Wheatstraw, Block and Tackle. What she did to me, people, ain't never been done before. What she did to me, people, ain't never been done before. But she really made me like it. Ooh, well, and I want to do it some more. A number of blues refer to homosexuality, usually with reference to sissy men. Perhaps the most straightforward is the 1930s recording of Freakish Blues by George Hanna. Here we roll on this one. She called me a freakish man. What more was there to do? She called me a freakish man. What more was there to do? Just 'cause she said I was strange, that did not make it true. I sent her to the mill to have her coffee ground. I sent her to the mill to have her coffee ground. 'Cause my wheel was broke and my grinder could not be found. You mix ink with water, bound to turn it black. You mix ink with water, bound to turn it black. You run around with funny people, you'll get a streak of it up your back. There was a time when I was alone, my freakish ways to treat. There was a time when I was alone, my freakish ways to treat. But they're so common now, you get one every day of the week. I had a strange feeling this morning. Well, I've had it all day. Had a strange feeling this morning. Well, I've had it all day. I wake up one of these mornings, that feeling will be here to stay. All of the blues that deals with love and sexuality. And we have quoted only a few, reveal the dynamic necessity of the poetic destruction of existing morality, and, by implication, the social system that upholds it. Again and again, we will see how the blues singer confronts this issue. Yet in this matter of confrontation, it is plain that interior as well as exterior reality must be dealt with. It is within the unconscious that we find the magnet that is capable of fusing the two. But for the purpose of our discussion, we can assume a dynamic unity of exterior and instinctual forces which affect the singers. As the singers confront sexuality, so they must confront aggression. The role of aggression is significant, not only because of its insistence, but because it, too, meets with inhibitions from within and without. Again, it finds itself linked to sexuality. And here's the one on the songs on aggression. All right. By T-Bone Slim. Here's his quote. Oh, I'm sorry that you got smashed, little bug, but I can't stand you just flying there, stuck to my car. Okay. Aggression. Whenever you find injustice, the proper form of politeness is attack. T-Bone Slim. One of the most distressing aspects of what Freud called civilized sexual morality is the inhibitions that result from certain aspects of the tendency toward fusion and diffusion taken by the sexual and aggressive impulses. A common obstacle in the course of love is the inability to confront one's own aggression as well as one's own sexuality. The contradiction between love and hate exists only in the conscious mind. However, and in the unconscious, the two coexist side by side and simultaneously. The status of the contradictory impulse in mental activity explains the shortcomings of the sociological interpretations to which blues have been so frequently subjected. To interpret the blues solely as a sociological contradiction, to interpret the blues solely as a sociological statement on black life in America is to fail to account for the numerous contradictions in the blues. Contradictions which are understandable only in terms of psychic activity. What must be understood is that the most vital sense in which the blues singers act as reporters is the way they become reporters of the mental processes, not so much the social or economic conditions of the black life in America, but the effects of these conditions on the mind are expressed in the blues. Thus, what the songs contain may be reflections of reality, but they might also contain images projected with the purpose of overcoming reality. Here's a little side note. As a related example, we can suggest that the many blues dealing with the subject of war, but made during peacetime, which have been considered enigmatic simply because of their temporal incongruity. Jack Kelly's President Blues, etc., are actually reflections of a psychic reality, and it is from this fact alone that they achieve their meaningfulness. It cannot be said that war songs become popular during the war and just stayed in a performer's repertoire. There is a reason such a song was maintained, and the reason is psychological. Many wishes and fears, with all their attendant symbolizations and representations, unconscious and conscious, regarding war, peace, and the president, do not necessarily lose their psychical value. Aggression, then, is treated as openly as I'm supposed to skip over. Do not necessarily lose their psychical value simply because the war ends. Indeed, such values may change through the course of historical and personal incident, but the subjects themselves, war, etc., maintain a psychic value which need not vaguely harmonize with reality, but which can always be expected to exert a powerful influence on song making. All right, now we continue. Hang on, let me get another drink. How are we doing? 30 minutes. Aggression, then, is treated as openly as sexuality, often simultaneously. Here's a song by Lee Green called I'm Gonna Beat Your Bread. All right, hang on, let me get untangled from my seating position. Good morning, Susie. I ought to cut your head. Good morning, Susie. I ought to cut your head. But I believe instead, Susie, I think I'll beat your bread. Good morning, Susie. Where were you all night long? Good morning, Susie. Where were you all night long? Do you think you treating me right now, baby? You think you're treating me wrong? Good morning, Susie. You heard what I said. Good morning, Susie. You heard what I said. Get your pen ready, sweet mama. I'm going to beat your bread. Good morning, Susie. You got good cooking oil. Good morning, Susie. You got good cooking oil. But when I think you stayed out all night long, my blood begins to boil. I know you're tired and sleepy, Susie, and want to go to bed. I know you're tired and sleepy, Susie, and want to go to bed. If you stay out all night long, tonight I'm going to cut your head. The classic blues couplet goes, I love you, baby, ain't gonna tell you no lie, but the day you quit me, that's the day you die. In sociological interpretations of a decade ago, a line like this would be quoted to suggest that the singer might be a murderer. Clearly, this is hardly the point. What the line reflects is the singer's open statement of his or her desire to murder. Thus, every singer who ever sang, I killed my man because he done me wrong, was not necessarily a killer, but did find it necessary to deal with murderous impulses. First as a child and then as an adult, the same impulses being rekindled by abandonment, disloyalty, mistreatment, etc. The songs imply that such impulses are not dealt with solely by repression. Popular songs and country and western songs persistently reflect repression in this respect. Andre Breton once described the popular song as a nervy little beggar who speculates on the most syrupy and unworthy traits of the human soul. Hillbilly music, in spite of some similarities to blues, is dominated by guilt and conventional Protestant morality. And it is only in a hillbilly song that such lyrics as these could be heard. Tell Daddy his little girl is so ashamed, but Mama, I won't be wearing a ring. While the hillbilly singer above has placed herself firmly in the grip of the absurd contradiction that are clearly the essence of middle-class morality, the blues singer Merlene Johnson describes a different life indeed. All right, this is called Reckless Life Blues by Merlene Johnson. I am wild and reckless, can't even trust myself. I am wild and reckless, can't even trust myself, 'cause my baby has quit me, and I don't want nobody else. I'm going to the roadhouse way out on the edge of town. I'm going to the roadhouse way out on the edge of town, where the music is soft and mellow and the people really break 'em down. I'll get a man out there to give me anything I need. I'll get a man out there to give me anything I need. I'm going to get drunk and gamble and do just as I please. I'm going to buy myself a pistol and hang it on my side. I am going to buy myself a pistol and hang it on my side. I'm going to join the gangsters and live myself a reckless life. I'm going to lock my cabin and turn my lights down low. I'm going to lock my cabin and turn my lights down low. I've got these reckless life blues, and I've really got to go. And the next, indeed, in the blues, aggressive impulses are far from stifled. This one is by Merlene Johnson. It's called 2x4 Blues. I've been talking to you, man, and I ain't gonna talk no more. I've been talking to you, man, and I ain't gonna talk no more. Well, some of these mornings, I'll cut your head with my 2x4. I don't want to hurt that man, just going to kill him dead. I don't want to hurt that man, just gonna kill him dead. I'll knock him to his knees, go back to the man I once have had. When I leave home, your other woman is knocking on my door. When I leave home, your other woman is knocking on my door. I'm going to stop so much talking and raise heck with my 2x4. In the following song by Alex Moore, the singer finds himself deceived and threatened by the vicissitudes of aggression. With her anger turned inward, he might expect to find that his woman had the blues, but turned outward. And this song is by Alex Moore called Ice Pick Blues. I thought my woman had the blues. She looked so worried and sick. I thought my woman had the blues. She looked so worried and sick. Only to find out in her bosom she's carrying an old ice pick. But she wasn't sick. I could see trouble in her eyes. But she wasn't sick. I could see trouble in her eyes. She wanted to stick me with that ice pick, Lord, and I don't know why. Half a pint in one hand, cigarette between her lips. Half a pint in one hand, cigarette between her lips. Trying to get that ice pick out with her fingertips. Why don't you go to bed, woman, and put that old ice pick down? Why don't you go to bed, woman, and put that old ice pick down? From room to room squabbling every night in your gown. Again, Alex Moore, Ice Pick Blues. And the next one is, needless to say, the blues also deals with aggression turned inward. This one's called Suicide Blues by Peanut the Kidnapper. Now if I had my old pistol, tell you what I would do. Now if I had my old pistol, tell you what I would do. You know I would kill you, woman. Ooh, well, and then my poor self too. The next one is by Little Oscar, also called Suicide Blues. I feel just like I'm going crazy, baby. I think I'm going to have to commit suicide. I feel just like I'm going crazy, baby. I think I'm going to have to commit suicide. Ooh, every time I look at you, baby, something happens deep down inside. I've been thinking about using cyanide acid, baby, but I'm afraid that might work too slow. I've been thinking about using cyanide acid, baby, but I'm afraid that might work too slow. Yes, I guess I'm gonna have to use, baby, ooh, my 40, my 44. Yet the blues that deal with suicide are only a very small part of those that deal with aggression as a whole. More specifically, its manifestations toward the outside world. Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law, the high sheriff from hell, sang these lines. This is a song, Ain't It a Pity and a Shame? Bring my pistol, shotgun, and some shells. Bring my pistol, shotgun, and some shells. Well, now, I've been mistreated, baby. Now I'm gonna raise some hell. The next one. And Yank Rochelle, assisted by Sonny Boy Williamson, sang Now run and get my .38 pistol. My woman running around in a V8 Ford. Now run and get my .38 pistol. My woman running around in a V8 Ford. Well, that must have been my woman getting away a while ago. I heard somebody, Lord, at my back door. You know, I had a little trouble way down there at Tom Wilson's place. You know, I had a little trouble way down there at Tom Wilson's place. Spoken by Sonny Boy William. You better not talk about them peoples, Yank. They won't let you come back there no more. You know, it was just on this side of Al Rawls. It was right down below May's place. Alright. What was that? Oh, no. Still going. That's the reason I take my .38 pistol. That's the reason I carry it every day. This is also spoken. Oh, you must be going out bear hunting or something. That's the reason, etc. Also spoken. I'm glad I didn't meet you when you had it. So if I catch my baby below Tom Wilson again, Lord, somebody's sure gonna fade away. That was Yank Rochelle, .38 Pistol Blues. Numerous aspects of the singer's aggression betray the socioeconomic base of their frustration. Creative activity never occurs in a social vacuum, but it is only through an abandonment of all theories of realism that a true understanding of this process will ever be reached. The dynamic connections between social life and creative activity are enormously complex. The blues singer functions as a poet through his or her refusal to accept the degradation of daily life. The essence of the blues is not to be found in the daily life with which it deals, but in the way such life is critically focused on and imaginatively transformed. This is Jack Kelly, titled Believe I'll Go Back Home. St. Louis is on fire. Chicago's burning down. And the next one, The World is a Hard Place to Live In by Georgia Pine Boy, Joe McCoy. When I get drunk, don't nobody want me around. Always trying to turn things upside down. Because this world's a hard place to live before you go. To some, recognition of the revolutionary capacity of the blues came quite naturally. The lyric below was quoted as a veritable manifesto, both in the English revolutionary journal Heatwave and in the American anarchist journal Resurgence in 1966. All right, this is by Julia Moody, called Mad Mama's Blues. Want to set this world on fire. That is my mad desire. I'm the devil in disguise. Got murder in my eyes. Now if I could see blood running through the streets. Now if I could see blood running through the streets. Could see everybody lying dead right at my feet. Give me gunpowder, give me dynamite. Give me gunpowder, give me dynamite. Yes, I'm gonna wreck this city. Gonna blow it up tonight. And the next category we're gonna fit on this one is humor. Through the adoption of humor as a conscious attitude, we can assert ourselves over the confines of environment, reality, and in effect topple the whole structure and reassemble it as we wish, thus revealing a glimpse of the pride which the revolution will restore to man. That was written by Penelope Rosemont. Okay, once again, let me get untwisted here. I've kept my shoes on. I'm about to take them off. I'm going to finish this video up with some humor. Oh, my word. Okay, here we go. Oddly enough, that looks crooked. Sorry about that. Don't want to look crooked. There we go. Sexuality and aggression are part of mankind's primal heritage, but a uniquely human aspect of instinctive life is the capacity for humor. Freud, 1905, he devoted an entire book to the study of the mental economy of jokes. And in a later paper from 1927, he dealt with humor in terms of his more recently elaborated structural theory. His suggestion, oft quoted, that humor is not resigned, it is rebellious, from 1927, only underscores our firm recognition of the importance of humor in the service of human emancipation. To Freud, the grandeur of humor clearly lies in the triumph of narcissism, the victorious assertion of the ego's invulnerability. The ego refuses to be distressed by the provocations of reality, to let itself be compelled to suffer. It insists that it cannot be affected by the traumas of the external world. It shows, in fact, that such traumas are no more than occasions for it to gain pleasure. Humor arises from the maintenance of narcissism in the face of disaster, and this description aptly characterizes the most eloquent and powerful essence of the blues. The description also makes clear the connection between humor and despair, a connection evidenced in the blues by the phrase, laughing to keep from crying. Yet this peculiar quality of the blues serves only to clarify this connection, a connection present in all humor. In the blues, we not only see the connection between humor and despair, but we find that the effect of the humor is not vitiated by this exposure. Vitiated? I don't even know. Okay, little side note. Painful emotions are aroused, and the attempt to suppress them proves superfluous. In simple terms, this is the mechanism that produces laughter in the joke. But it is rare that we find actual jokes in the blues. I had an extra word. It started as it says "and," and then it doesn't finish it. Oh, there it is. An exception to this, and there are others. No. Bob's a riddle and good time rounder. That doesn't make sense. We're just gonna let that one go. I just can't put a word and leave it blank, but yeah, they can. Do whatever they want. All right, here we go. This is by Mercy D, titled, Have You Ever Been Out in the Country? If I ever get from around this harvest, I don't even want to see a rose bush grow. And if anybody asks me about the country, Lord have mercy on his soul. Got some wind kicking up. We need 10 more minutes. All right. The following verses are from P.D. Wheatstraw's No Count Woman. You fell for me, baby, but you only fell on my hands. You fell for me, baby, but you only fell on my hands. And as soon as you get tired of me, ooh, well, you will fall on some other man. When I picked you up, baby, you was beat just like a slave. When I picked you up, baby, you was beat just like a slave. You had one foot on a banana peeling, ooh, well, and the other foot in the grave. All right, stop that wind for a minute. All right. Some of the humor in blues is folk humor, and like the last line above, which is still used in conversation today, is drawn from a common pool of traditional references. Indeed, the same can be said for numerous singers. The verses seem to lie in wait to be seized on by any singer who finds that the context of a song requires them. Also, they are often used when a more relevant verse fails to materialize, or when fatigue or forgetfulness temporarily obscures the creative process. But the best of the blues are not simple strings of these floating couplets. Often there is a fully developed theme, which in the more comical songs serves to heighten the humorous effect. This one. All right, here we go. Doesn't tell me who it's by. I got a little woman. She ain't nothing but skin and bones. I got a little woman. She ain't nothing but skin and bones. But when I get my big money, ooh, well, right to Hot Springs she goes. Down in Hot Springs, she will get 200 baths a day. Down in Hot Springs, she will get 200 baths a day. And when she come out, ooh, well, she won't be the same skinny way. Hot Springs is a place where all skinny people should go. Hot Springs is a place where all skinny people should go. And when they come out, ooh, well, they won't be skinny no mo'. Now, take my advice and don't treat your woman wrong. Now, take my advice and don't treat your woman wrong. Because the woman that I got, oh, well, she ain't nothing but skin and bones. Exception to this, and there are others, is Barbecue Bob's riddle in Good Time Rounder. There's 25 women in this hotel with me. You and your brother, what time would it be? That's very easy, Mama. Be 25 after 3. That's funny. Skin and bones is your woman's fate. Skin and bones is your woman's fate. Well, now you better take her to Hot Springs, you well, now before it's too late. Often the humor is found in double entendre, as in the Memphis Jug Band's Caveman Blues. Mr. Caveman, doggone your caving soul. Mr. Caveman, doggone your caving soul. You better quit your bad habits digging in every dark hole. You cave so much till you can't keep it hid. You cave so much till you can't keep it hid. You gonna get in the wrong cave like Floyd Collins did. You won't go to the barber, you won't even shave. You won't go to the barber, you won't even shave. You know a clean-faced man don't go in no cave. I'm going in a cave at the sounding of the drum. I'm going in a cave at the sounding of the drum. And I'll dig and dig till my good gal comes. Got them caveman blues. Or in songs like Barbecue Bob's Yo-Yo Blues number 2. Hey, Mr. Conductor, let me ride your train. Hey, Mr. Conductor, let me ride your train. I want to play yo-yo, play yo-yo, play yo-yo again. You don't let me on, I'm going to ride the blinds. You don't let me on, I'm going to ride the blinds. You wants to yo-yo, Bob, but you know this train ain't mine. I know a man his age about 54. I know a man his age about 54. Oh, he didn't do nothing but play with his yo-yo. I like to yo-yo, yes, both night and day. I like to yo-yo, yes, both night and day. For some folks it's hard to work, but for me it's same as play. You may be blue and way down in the depths. You may be blue and way down in the depths. Go play yo-yo, a little yo-yo will help. When you hear them yelling up and down the hall, don't get uneasy, they playing yo-yo, that's all. I got a gal, she sure is big and fat. I got a gal, she sure is big and fat. Let's yo-yo, Bob, because it's tight like that. I'm just a traveler, I got to leave this ward. I'm just a traveler, I got to leave this ward. For you wanna yo-yo, mama? Call on barbecue Bob. Humor signifies not only the triumph of the ego, but also of the pleasure principle, which is able here to assert itself against the unkindness of the real circumstances. Freud, 1927. People's raving about hard times, tell me what it's all about. People's raving about hard times, tell me what it's all about. Hard times, don't worry me. I was broke when they first started out. Friends, it could be worser. You don't seem to understand. Friends, it could be worser. You don't seem to understand. Some is crying with a sack of gold under each arm and a loaf of bread in each hand. People's raving about hard times, I don't know why they should. People's raving about hard times, I don't know why they should. If some people was like me, they didn't have no money when times was good. That was Lonnie Johnson, titled Hard Times Ain't Gone Nowhere. All right, let's see. The surrealists, of course, have gone much further than Freud in adumbrating the critical, poetic, and revolutionary character of humor. Marco Ristic, for example, wrote an important essay on humor as an all-encompassing, revolutionary, moral attitude from 1933. The surrealist conception of a subversive humor enhances our appreciation of many blues lyrics. For often the humor in the blues is lodged precisely within the context of the denial and rejection of bourgeoisie morality. This is by Jack Dupree, called Rum Cola Blues. Just one line. Some people calls her Rumhead, but I calls her plain baby. Sometimes, however, it's only a relatively isolated image that draws a smile. This one is Cannon's Jug Stompers, and it's titled Prison Wall Blues. When I leave these walls, I'll be running, dodging trees. You'll see the bottom of my feet so many times you'll think I'm on my knees. But the variety of humorous references in the blues is endless. The richness and diversity can only be hinted at by citing a few examples. Here, this one's Charlie Campbell, called Going Away Blues. I don't want a woman who wears a number 9. I wake up in the morning, I can't tell her shoes from mine. Okay, that's kind of funny. Tell me, baby, who was that here a while ago? Tell me, baby, who was that here a while ago? Yeah, when I come in, they turn out that back door. So come here, mama, I'm going to raise some hell. You've been bobbing it and knobbing it. I can tell the way you smell. So tell me, baby, etc. Well, I had the windows pinned down. He couldn't get through. So here's his hat and his underwear, too. So tell me, baby, etc. He came by me running, smelling like a garbage can, with one leg in his pants and his shoes in his hand. That was by Casey Bill Weldon, called Backdoor Blues. Now the reason I ain't been getting no calls, people, I'm gonna tell you what it's all about. Now the reason I ain't been getting no calls, people, I'm gonna tell you what it's all about. They tell me the Western Union man been getting drunk. He been leaving my calls at somebody else's house. That was Sonny Boy Williamson, called Western Union Man. This song by Sonny Boy Williamson, number 2, Rice Miller, is a classic. When I first heard about her, I didn't believe what they said. When I first heard about her, I didn't believe what they said. But I found out for myself that she brought life back to the dead. She walked in that morning. The doctor said he was dead. People started walking out, crying, shaking their heads. That's what his mother said. She stayed in there 24 long hours and brought life back to the dead. The little girl ain't but 15 years old. How you know? That's what her mother said. That's what her mother said. Oh, wait a minute. Little girl ain't but 15 years old. How you know that? That's what her mother said. And then you say that twice. I found out for myself that she brought life back to the dead. Sales Tax by Bo Carter and Walter Vixen. The Mississippi Sheiks begins with a spoken introduction. BC says, say, Walter, we need some cigarettes. Let's go in and get a pack. Walter says, okay. The storekeeper, hello, boys. What can I do for you? Bo, I'll have a package of cigarettes. All right, here you are. Be 3 cents more, though. And the other two in unison, what's that for? It says, sales tax. Haven't you ever heard of sales tax? No, we sure haven't. What's going to happen next, man? You know, they got a law here they call sales tax. Sales tax? What is that for? That's 3 cents tax on everything that's sold. They say that's the government's rule. The government's rule? Well, there's lots of things sold that the government doesn't know anything about. Well, I'll just sing you a little song about these sales tax. Old Aunt Marthy lives behind the jail. A sign on the wall saying, "Liquor for sale." You know the sales tax is on it. All the sales tax is on it. Oh, the sales tax is on it everywhere you go. All right. I never seen the like since I've been born. The woman got sales tax on the stuff at home. All the sales tax all the sales tax is on it, etc. You used to could buy it for $1 a round. Now sales tax is on it all over town. All the sales tax is on it, etc. I'm as loving as a woman can be. The stuff I got'll cost you $1.03. All the sales tax is on it, etc. Peter Clayton, who also sang as Dr. Clayton, sang these verses in his 1941 blues. Got a picture of him. War is raging in Europe on the water, land, and in the air. War is raging in Europe on the water, land, and in the air. Woo! If Uncle Sammy don't be careful, we'll all soon be right back over there. The radios and newspapers, they all force me to believe. The radios and newspapers, they all force me to believe. Yeah, Hitler and Mussolini, they must have the snatching disease. Ain't gonna be no peace in Europe till we cut off Hitler's head. Ain't gonna be no peace in Europe till we cut off Hitler's head. Woo, Mussolini have heart failure when he hears Stalin is dead. I hope Hitler catch consumption. I mean the galloping kind. I hope Hitler catch consumption. I mean the galloping kind. And Stalin catch leprosy. Mussolini lose his mind. This whole war would soon be over if Uncle Sam would use my plan. This whole war would soon be over if Uncle Sam would use my plan. Whoa, let me sneak in Hitler's bedroom with my razor in my hand. The song with perhaps the most amusing title, I Heard the Voice of a Pork Chop, is really more a minstrel song than a blues, but related to it slightly as Alec Johnson's Miss Meal Cramp Blues. Even here, the minstrel connections are evident. Lord, I'm broke and hungry and my money's all gone. Lord, I'm broke and hungry and my money's all gone. With an empty stomach, I've got to travel on. All my crops were failures, couldn't raise a doggone thing. All my crops were failures, couldn't raise a doggone thing. I'm just like a beggar here, these mournful blues I sing. If I see a pork chop, Lord, I believe I'd pass away. If I see a pork chop, Lord, I believe I'd pass away. I ain't had a square meal in many doggone day. I'm so broke and hungry I could eat a kangaroo. I'm so broke and hungry I could eat a kangaroo. I feel just like stealing, there's nothing else to do. Won't somebody help me with a little bite to eat? Won't somebody help me with a little bite to eat? Don't care what you give me, I'd even eat chicken feed. My body feels so weary 'cause I've got the Miss Meal cramps. My body feels so weary because I've got the Miss Meal cramps. Right now I could eat more than a whole carload of tramps. In addition to its more ordinary forms, there is a form of humor that is excessive and even cruel, relentless and uncompromising. This was designated black humor by André Breton, 1937, and numerous examples by Swift, Sade, De Quincey, Petrus Boreal, Poe, Lewis Carroll, Latremont, John Milligan Sang, Edward Lear, O. Henry, Jacques Vacher, Lenora Carrington, and others. May be found in Britain's Anthology of Black Humor from 1940. Black humor was defined by the English surrealist Conroy Maddox, 1946, as a virulent satire and disquieting humor, which as a deliberate, critical attitude in surrealism challenges all forms of accepted belief. More than a few illustrations of this deliberate, critical attitude, which begins by ruthlessly obliterating the moral and aesthetic boundaries of common sense, may be found in the blues. The following line is from Ferry Lewis Creeper Blues. Mama, get your hatchet, kill the fly on your baby's head. This is from Elmore James' 1839 blues, recorded in the mid-50s. Spoken. Hey, Joe, you know I'm a young man this time. You know I ain't seen my baby since 1839. I gotta find her. What you say? Well, I ain't seen my baby since 1839. Well, I ain't seen my baby since 1839. Well, if I don't find my baby, I'm gonna lose my mind. And this is from Mercy D's Lady Luck. Lady Luck has never smiled down on me. I've never saw her wonderful face. Lady Luck has never smiled down on me. I have never seen her wonderful face. If it wasn't raining soup, I'd be caught with a fork, people. 'Cause I live in this mad, mad atomic age. I got drunk to forget my troubles. So lushed, the streetcars look like toys. I got drunk to forget my troubles. So lushed, the streetcars looked like toys. I flagged down the heat, and they throwed me in the tomb. Folks, I thought they was messenger boys. Well, they tell me not to be impatient. They say every dog has its day. Well, they tell me not to be impatient. They say every dog has his day. But I don't belong to the canine family, yet I'm beginning to live and look like one every day. Or as in this line by Jack Dupree, understatement offers a perverse emphasis. The horror of life in Southern prisons is simply stated. Angola is a place where you ought not want to go. And that was called Angola Blues. This black humor flourishes in the subcategory of the blues, known as the Dirty Dozens, and its offshoots, characterized by exaggerated insults and frequently sadistic sexual allusions. Some of the most startling images in the blues are to be found in the Dozens. For example, now, funniest thing I ever seen, tomcat jumping on a sewer. Now, funniest thing I ever seen, tomcat jumping on a sewing machine. That's by Memphis Minnie, The New Dirty Dozens. Or by Louise Bogan's masterpiece of splendid outrage, titled Shave 'em Dry, which in the following verse combines religious and sexual imagery in a manner reminiscent of the works of Sadie. Oh, Lordy, here we go. Now your nuts hang down like a damn bell clapper, and your dick stands up like a steeple. Your goddamn arsehole stands open like a church door, and the crabs walks in like people. Further discussion of the dozens is made unnecessary here, however, by Paul Oliver's extensive treatment of the subject in his Screening the Blues. The humor in the blues does not always reside entirely in the lyrics, however. Just as it is the way in which a song is sung that determines whether or not it is a blues, it is also the way certain lyrics are delivered that provides the humor with a means to its most subtle realizations. As in nearly every facet of the blues, it must be heard to be appreciated. All right, I'm going to stop there because the next one is about travel, so it'll be a lot of songs about travel. And then we'll have some alcohol and drug songs. And then male supremacy, it looks like. Liberation of women. Night. Animals. Work. And the police and the church. I think that's the last one. So that's how much we have left. There's a lot of pictures. Oh, crime. We have crime. I didn't build this world, but I sure can tear it down. By Pleasant Joe, Sawmill, Man Blues. All right. Again, we got quite a bit left here. And it's going to be reading songs. And there are the poetry. Is the songs. I know that we all know that, and we learned that in school. But I have really been enjoying this. Like, all this time, I could have wrote blues songs. I only needed one repeating line and in a row after another. Oh my goodness. I have really enjoyed this. I know it's a little wordy because it's a person who likes words, so I'll use extra ones. Thank you for letting me share with you. I appreciate you. All right, let me find my little book cover so I can put it in the shot so everybody knows what we're reading here. In case, like I said, you want to run and get it. Read along with me, or just keep it on a shelf for a reference book like I do when I'm done reading them. Have a beautiful today.